Who loves Linda? We love Linda. And if you don't, why are you watching this? Like so many of the cast of characters, Linda is loved for her eccentric personality and quirks, the trademark of Bob's Burgers. This show does a great job at finding new ways to create new characters with their own unique idiosyncrasies, starting from the beginning with the Belcher family. So in this video, I want to go over some of Linda's traits and how she fits into the ensemble of the show to highlight what makes her so beloved to the fandom. Let's do this. Alright internet, if you clicked on this video because you want to dunk on Linda for being annoying, just move along. While I understand that some people do feel that way, we are in the pro-Linda zone here. Even things I mentioned in this video that may come off as negatives, I view as good traits for the character because these flaws help move plot. I really do find her to be such a charming character, and it comes in no small part to the performance by John Roberts. Roberts has said that he based Linda on his own mother, and I do think you can feel that love in his performance. Linda is a big personality, and is usually the kind of person to look at the bright side of things. Her loud enthusiasm is part of what makes people bounce off of her, but I do think that this stems from the popularity of very cynical comedies around the time Bob Burgers started. The show is definitely a pioneer of a wave of more positive comedies geared towards adults, and Linda is the greatest force of positivity on this show. But her character is more than just big energy and positivity, obviously. No show would be able to last 15 seasons if their characters were that shallow. So let's take a look at what makes Linda Linda, beginning with her. I think Linda's love of music is probably one of her most definitive characteristics, and one that she also shares with Gene. The show itself dips into being a musical all the time, but even when it's not being one, Linda will just be singing little songs for herself. And we learn throughout the series that music and singing has always been a big part of her life, such as in the episode Purple Rain Union, where she had a band in high school called the Tatas that lost the talent show to another group. So her love of singing and performing has always been a big part of who she is. But it isn't just music that sparks for Linda creatively. In the first season, we get the episode Hamburger Dinner Theater, where Linda insists they put on a big dinner theater show in the restaurant because she is obsessed with them. And while yeah, it is musical dinner theater, tying back to her love of music, it is more than just that. If she wanted to spotlight herself and her singing alone, they could have just done a musical review, but she wanted to do a full-on narrative play. Side note, but I remember the robber being Mickey in this episode, but he doesn't show up until the next season when he robs the bank. For some reason, I thought he was also in this, and I don't know, just did anyone else have that memory? Are we Mandela affecting here? Getting the chance to sing is what sells Linda on spending their savings on a commercial for the Super Bowl in season 4's Easy Commercial, Easy Go Commercial. That episode is also one of the many examples of the Belcher's financial struggles. I have a whole video on that if you want. She also gets really excited to choreograph the swim routine for the kids when she becomes their coach in the 3rd episode of season 2. Her becoming the coach is related to another one of her traits, how she cares for the kids, but we will get to that a bit later. You even get glimpses of Linda's creativity in episodes about other things, like PTA It Ain't So from season 9, where she comes up with the theme of surfing PTA. The episode also highlights her flair for the dramatics.
Colleen?
Hello, Joanne.
Wait, why is she in the shark costume?
Linda thought it would be more dramatic.
She was right.
Her little clever ideas, some that never even get realized, are just sprinkled all across the show. Honestly, the whole family is brimming with creativity, but with Linda, there seems to be less of a singular direction. Bob has his cooking, Gene has music, etc., etc. But Linda doesn't have a major hobby or passion to put her energy in. That's something that can definitely be chalked up to her role in the family. Wives and mothers often have to sacrifice more of themselves for their family. That's not to say men in traditional families don't sacrifice, or that women like Linda are being maliciously forced to do so, though we do know that that can definitely happen. But old-fashioned nuclear family values put a lot more on the women, and the sacrifices they make come from that. All that said, I'm not trying to paint Linda being a wife and mother as some kind of terrible thing that has happened to her. She is clearly someone who wants to have a family and to nurture them, both for good and bad. Let's talk about that next. I think that we can all agree that Linda is Mother. She is Mother. Linda is so Mother. Yeah, because she's like a mom. And as far as being a mom is concerned, Linda is very hands-on as a parent. Sometimes too hands-on, as we see in episodes like Synchronized Swimming. The reason why the kids get in over their heads the way they do is because they think Linda will do all the work for them, like she does in the opening scene of that episode, where she's doing their homework for them. Linda's hands-on approach to parenting, combined with her big, oftentimes pushy personality, can lead to friction between her and the kids. The quintessential example of this is Mother-Daughter Laser Razor, where Linda tries to force Louise into them becoming closer. It leads to all the drama an episode of TV needs, with Louise bouncing off of her mother's attempt, causing Linda to push even harder. The two only really connect when Linda meets Louise on her level playing laser tag, and honestly embracing that they are both little chaos gremlins at their core. God, I love this episode. Like, it's great that they've generally moved away from the Linda-Louise friction as a whole, but it is just so well done in this episode. Now, I've mentioned before on this channel how Bob's Burgers addresses the often unsung labor of mothers with the episode Gift Card or Die Trying, where Linda convinces the family to pool their shares of a $100 gift card left as a tip so she could get a new sewing machine. A machine that she uses to fix everyone's clothes and make kids' Halloween costumes. And we know that this is true outside of the episode because 9 seasons earlier, in the season 4 episode Fortnite, Linda and Bob are hustling to finish the Chinese dragon costume for the kids in the subplot. This is worth mentioning because it's not just that she puts in the work taking care, but she expresses in the gift card episode how much she loves getting to do that for her family. I've seen a lot of people call Linda self-centered as one of the reasons why they don't like her. And while there are definitely episodes where she has been, I do think that at her core she is a supportive mother and partner above any of her other personality traits. And it's not just her physical labor, but emotional labor as well. In the episode Amelia, Linda brings Louise in to talk her through the problem she is having with her hero project for school during Linda's Mother's Day massage. A weird massage, don't get me wrong, but she still gave up her special time to be a good mother. You can't deny that. That is core good parenting right there.
No, Lynn, this is your special treat. We want you to relax.
I'm not going to be able to relax unless she's in here and I can talk to her.
And to keep using episodes with Louise as an example, in The Play Before Christmas, Linda is devastated when she realizes that no one will be there to see Louise read her poem in front of an audience.
This is the worst.
She's also a strong, nurturing figure to her sister Gail in a sometimes very unhealthy way. Gail is fragile, and Linda will go to lengths that she shouldn't to protect her. It leads to stuff like the episode Dr. Yap, where Linda is excited that Gail gets a crush on Bob, or Linda lending Gail money in There's No Business Like Mr. Business, knowing she really won't get it back.
But she hardly ever asks for money.
What?
I need to borrow $16.41, $105, $22 for rug shampoo, control top pantyhose. My magic bullet blender payments. I'm 3 months behind. Christmas gifts for you guys. Lube.
It's Linda's love for her sister, and it's her wanting to take care of Gail that leads to all this. I love when characters' negative actions are tied to their positive traits in shows like this, because it is so much more interesting than just having unconnected positive and negative traits. Linda's protectiveness towards her sister doesn't come exclusively from a good place though. We see her project her own insecurities about aging onto Gail in season 14's The Right Tough Stuff. But like with Louise in the laser tag episode, when Linda gets past her own point of view, she learns her lesson and can become a better support to her loved one from it. So I'm not going to go over every relationship Linda has with all the characters of the show, in part because character dynamics might be a good video on its own, or a series of videos even, but I don't think that we can talk about Linda Belcher without discussing her mustachioed mister. Just wanted to take a second to quickly plug that the channel has a membership option if you are interested in supporting the channel more directly. This year, I plan on putting out a lot of exclusive and early access stuff to members of the channel, but to do that, we do need members. So if you can, join today. Now back to the video. We should all strive to be as ride or die as Linda is in our own relationships.
I'm killing Teddy.
What? You're gonna kill Teddy? All right. Car's gassed up. That's good.
Seriously though, their relationship is, in my experience, the most realistic animated sitcom marriage. Bob and Linda never do anything so outlandishly dumb or insensitive where either of them need to try and win each other back. Their marriage is never on the line. They don't try to bait us with that, and that is something that I love. Because we as the audience know that a couple on a Fox cartoon aren't going to separate beyond an episode, so it's lower stakes than they want it to be. That being said, I would watch a show like that, just not in this show. This couple is also so great because there's a real give and take when it comes to them as a comedic duo. They both balance each other out and can be the straight man to the other, depending on the situation. So while on a day-to-day basis, Linda is the bigger, sillier, more extroverted of the two, she's also the anchor that can bring Bob back down to earth when he spirals out too hard. Though we also get moments where they egg each other on, getting into trouble together, and that's always cute as well. Her relationship with Bob is probably the best example of her supportive nature. Bob's dream is to run a restaurant, and she does that with him. Sure, you can make the argument that it comes out of necessity, but I think it comes from her seeing his passion for food and wanting to support that any way she can. And the way she can is by running the restaurant by his side. Honestly, some of the cutest moments from the show is them side by side prepping for the restaurant. They are living their life happily, and that is so beautiful. Despite the fact that running a restaurant is extremely stressful, and we're not getting into that again. That's it for this one. I know there are other elements to Linda as a character, but these are the ones that I think most actually define her. She can be abrasive or pushy, but it all comes from a good place. On top of that, her whole vibe is so true to real-life people in a way a lot of other cartoon characters aren't. That is something that I think is so refreshing for her as a character. But let me know what your favorite character traits for Linda are, and some of your favorite moments that she has had in the series. Or don't. I'm not your boss. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what other characters I should do breakdowns of in the future, from Bob's Burgers or from other shows that you think I should cover. And until next time, have a good one.